Okay, hello and welcome to Science for Today. I am glad that everybody was able to, or a lot of people anyway, were able to already get onto our new kid blog site. I think it's going to be cool. Yeah, kind of like rather than having our coil books, because we can't make those, this will be a nice spot to have everything collected, I think, for the entire unit. And yeah, okay, so here we go. If you have not been on to Kid Blog yet, I said this in our morning message, but you just need to go to the science page and then click on exactly on this site. Okay, do not do don't go like kidblog.com. You have to click exactly on this site and then enter in the code. Okay, so this is where we're at today. Okay, so everybody so far has done the Bill Nye Forensics, which is where you were just supposed to watch the movie or the video and then download this document and then just create a comment below so that I know that you have done this. Some people have been able to figure out how to upload a document into KidBlog. That's fantastic. I'm not expecting that you know how to do that now. So if you've been able to figure that out, well done. I'm going to be teaching that skill to you next week. Okay, so for now, you don't need to worry about it. As long as you've watched the video and that you filled in the blanks, then that's great. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to do any more than that for this one. It was just kind of like a warm-up kind of activity anyway. So, okay, so now we're going to start actually getting a little bit more into this site. Okay, so this is how you navigate it. So this is kind of like your board. The next thing is you're going to see is this page called Forensic Investigator. Okay, so today we are creating a Forensic Fact File 101, which will be a useful guide of terms and strategies for all forensic scientists need to know. So the first thing that you need to do is download this. So you click on it. Okay, and then it's going to take you to our the assignment. Okay, so I'm just going to explain the assignment in a minute. Okay, so you need to read through the document so you understand what you are searching for while watching the video. Note some of the information in the handout will be required research beyond what is said in the video. Okay, yes. Okay, so when you're going to watch the video and then create a visual page, so using whatever method that you would like. So maybe you want to use an app on your phone, you want to use Sketchbook, cool, whatever. Maybe you want to use, like maybe DR wants to use his new cool belts and he wants to create something that's just like on literally on like a one page, and then you want to take a picture of it and then you want to send it. That is cool too, okay? Whatever you want to do, or a document, yeah, doesn't matter, but I want it to just be like one fast fact page, like one thing to look at. It shouldn't be a whole ton. And you can kind of get creative about how you're going to display this as well. Okay, so yes, all right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to upload this onto KidBlog so you guys can share this with your classmates. It's not due until Tuesday. What we're going to do is science today, and then we're going to get in the hang of doing social studies because we're a little bit ahead in social studies now, which is awesome. We're going to do science next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So 3 days right in a row. So you have a while to work on this. Okay. Alrighty. So, okay. Yeah. Okay. So you don't need to submit anything. So we go into here. Okay. Then this is what you're going to be doing. Okay. So it's a choice board, and then you can choose what you're going to do, and then whatever level you reach is basically what score you get, okay? So for the first level, okay, and basically it's kind of like if you're reaching the E, you have to do the stuff that's also underneath it because it's scaffolded, like it kind of builds on it on each thing. So, okay, first thing is terms. Okay, so you have to do something from terms, you have to do something from related jobs, and you have to do something from methods of gathering evidence, okay? Yeah, so if you do this and this and this, that would be a D. If you do this and this and this, it's an RA. If you do, say, this and this and this, then I'd probably bump you up to a C, depending upon how well you do, okay? So terms, first of all, you have to define each term. What is a crime? What's an what does it mean to investigate? What is that? Then for RA, you have to do both crime and investigate. So I'm kind of visioning you could do like maybe like terms in the middle, and then you want to do like maybe like a web going out or something like that. Or you could do it as a chart, however you want to display these terms. Okay, so then you have to do what is fact versus observation versus an inference. What do those things mean? And then all previous, then you have to say what is forensics? What does an alibi mean? And this is the hardest one. What is a red heron? What is that related to evidence and investigation? Okay, it's not a bird. It's something related to evidence and investigation. The next one, okay, jobs. What does a policeman do? What does a forensic investigator do? What does a forensic entomologist do? What does a forensic anthropologist do? What does a forensic odontology, or what is forensic odontology? It kind of sounds like orthodontics. That's my clue. And then ballistics. What is that related to forensics? Okay. Then the next thing, okay, now this is actually the most important one, is the methods of gathering evidence. Okay, so these ones shouldn't be really too hard, like a quick kind of like Google search to do. Then, okay, what are the skills? Now, this is from the video, okay? This part's mainly from the video. What are skills that you need to be good at? List 3 of them. There's definitely more than 3 things that they say in the video, okay? Then zoom in on a skill that you choose from the above 3 to explain what each of them involves, okay? So the skills that you choose. So you've chosen 3. So choose again 3 skills. Okay, so what does this mean? Like, what does it mean? So here you're just listing them. Organize, attention to detail, okay? Then in RAs, well, what does it mean to pay attention to detail? What does it mean to be organized? What does it mean to be good with people? That's one of the other ones that they say, good people skills. What does it mean? So just like explain, okay? The next one is you have to include an example where each skill would be important. So why would it be good to have really good people skills if you're an investigator? Why would it be really important to be super organized if you're an like say like an example in this situation? Okay, same thing for like attention to detail. Like, when might it be really important to pay really good attention to detail? Then the last one to get an E is suggest different ways that you as a forensic scientist may be able to document collected evidence. Okay, that is kind of like the trickiest part, is what is a way that you might be able to document collected evidence. Okay, so we've already talked about these. Like, it shouldn't be anything that's too new. Like, one example would be to maybe take photos. They say some of these in the video as well. Okay, then next, last, this is what's expected. Okay, set number 3, this is bonus, optional. Okay, you do not have to do this, but you're someone who like thinks this is super cool and you want to do some extra things on the weekend, then you can. Okay, so if you do these things, then you would be like kind of bumped up a category if you do any of these bonus ones. Okay, so say that you do like get to the CA level, pretty much would guarantee that you'd be at an E if you do these. That's essentially kind of it, or even one of them, even just one of them. Okay, so the first one is analyzing splashes and splatters. You know what, I'm just gonna go back here because I've made this actually into a different whole thing. Okay, it's the same thing, I just kind of copied and pasted it. Okay, so splashes and splatters. Okay, so analyzing splashes and splatters. This is a really important part of a forensic scientist's job. So here is a lab. So fill 2 balloons with water, then go outside and try to find a dry, level, paved surface. Okay, I guess if you're using water, you'd want to make sure for during Ramadan that if you are, you're not being around water, then you'd have to do this at night or when you are allowed to be around water. So that's just, that says also why this is optional. So trial 1 is you throw the balloon straight down. Trial 2 is then you throw the second balloon aiming at a spot 3 meters away. So it's kind of like you're throwing on an angle, okay? Then what is the difference between the splashes and the splatters left behind from each balloon? So what happens when something is a liquid is like thrown from a different angle? What do you notice about the splashes and the splatters? This relates to like blood analysis for forensic investigators. Okay, so then you have to share the data that you collected. So you might want to take a picture of what you did and then say what methods that you used to gather your evidence. So what else did you do to gather evidence? A variation. If you do not have balloons, what other household items could you use that could make a splash pattern in different angles? So this is, I don't know, maybe you could use like toothpaste or something like that, or just like, I don't know, water even, like in your sink or something, or like maybe like toothbrush or something if you're like splattering it somewhere. Okay, so that's the first one. And then the other one that you could optionally choose to do, this is cool. It is learning about different body dimensions. Okay, so first, you can read through this, but basically, if you do this, I'm gonna put you in groups to compare, depending upon if people do this one. So you'd measure the distance from your hip socket. So if you wiggle where you feel your leg go into your hip, if you wiggle your leg from side to side to where your knee is, okay? Measure that in centimeters. Then you measure that distance multiplied by 2.6. Very specific. Okay, this is what forensic scientists would do. Then you add 65 centimeters, so it's kind of like a formula, to this number to get your total height. Okay, then you see how close are these calculations to your actual height. So you would need to actually measure your actual height as well. So you're probably gonna have to have somebody help you with this measuring. Compile the data for the whole class once everyone is finished, and then we're gonna determine whether this is an accurate measure to determine someone's height. If we only know a portion of their body, are we able to accurately get an idea of how tall they are? Okay, so yeah, you could snap a picture of your data. What methods did you use to gather your evidence? Okay, so again, this is due for Tuesday, but then these parts are optional. And if you do them, the same thing, I'd like these to be done by Tuesday, okay? All right, okay, so that is it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so have fun, and I'll see you guys soon. Message me if you have any questions, or we'll talk about this on Sunday if you're still kind of a little bit unclear of things.